Have you ever sat down to eat fish thinking you were doing something smart for your health, only to wonder later why your joints still ache, your memory feels foggy, or your heart does not feel as steady as it used to? If you are over 60, this matters more than most people realize, because after 60, your body does not process toxins the same way it did at 30. Your liver and kidneys may work slower, your nervous system can be more sensitive, and inflammation can rise quietly in the background. So the same seafood choice that feels harmless for someone younger may be a bigger problem for you. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Fish is not automatically a health food. Some fish can support your brain and heart. Other fish can bring in mercury, industrial pollutants, or an unhealthy fat balance that may increase inflammation. The scary part is that many people keep eating the wrong fish every week because the label says healthy, the price is low, and it is easy to cook. This video is not here to scare you. It is here to help you choose wisely. And a quick note before we continue, this is general education, not medical advice. If you have a medical condition, take medications, or have questions about your personal diet, talk with your doctor or a registered dietitian. Health agencies like the FDA and EPA publish consumer guidance on seafood choices and mercury exposure, and it is worth checking those recommendations for your situation. Now, here is the simple idea you need to remember. After 60, you should care about 3 things when choosing fish. First is contamination risk. Larger, long-lived predator fish tend to accumulate more mercury. The mercury can affect the nervous system, and in sensitive people, it may contribute to problems like tingling, mood changes, and cognitive issues. Those symptoms can be mistaken for normal aging. Second is inflammatory balance. Some farmed fish can have a high omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. Too much omega-6 without enough omega-3 can push inflammation higher, which matters if you deal with arthritis, heart disease, or metabolic issues. Third is quality nutrition. You want fish that actually delivers what you are looking for: clean protein, omega-3 fats, and key nutrients like vitamin D, selenium, and B12, without bringing extra baggage. So tonight I will walk you through the big picture. Which fish are commonly worth limiting or avoiding after 60, and which fish are often safer and more supportive for healthy aging. Start small. Eat one swap at a time, because what you put on your plate today shapes how strong, sharp, and independent you feel tomorrow. Now that you understand why fish choice matters more after 60, let us move into the critical next step: identifying the fish that are most often worth limiting or avoiding, not because fish is bad, but because certain types carry risks that can quietly outweigh their benefits for older adults. Again, this is general education, not medical advice. Individual needs vary, and trusted organizations like the FDA and EPA provide guidance on seafood safety that you should consider alongside advice from your healthcare professional. Let us begin with a fish that surprises many people. Imported catfish is often seen as mild, affordable, and easy to cook. On the surface, it looks like a safe option. The concern comes from how much of this fish is produced. Some imported catfish are raised in overcrowded farming environments where water quality is poor and disease spreads easily. To manage these conditions, antibiotics and other treatments may be used more frequently. While regulations exist, oversight standards can vary by region. For older adults, regular exposure to residues or contaminants is not ideal, especially when the nutritional payoff is relatively low compared to cleaner alternatives. When catfish is chosen, many experts suggest looking for domestically raised options that follow stricter production standards. Next is tuna, a fish with a long-standing healthy reputation. Tuna is high in protein and widely available, but certain types deserve caution. Larger species, such as albacore and big eye, live longer and sit higher on the food chain. Over time, they accumulate more mercury from the environment. Mercury exposure at high levels can affect the nervous system. In older adults, symptoms like memory changes, concentration difficulties, or mood shifts may overlap with what people assume is normal aging. Health authorities generally recommend limiting these tuna varieties, especially for people who eat seafood frequently. Light tuna tends to be lower in mercury, but moderation is still important. King mackerel is more straightforward. This species is consistently listed by food safety agencies as one to avoid due to very high mercury levels. Mercury can place stress on both the brain and the cardiovascular system. For seniors, especially those with existing heart or kidney concerns, this added burden is unnecessary when safer fish options are readily available. It is important to note that not all mackerel are the same. Smaller species, such as Atlantic or Spanish mackerel, are different and typically contain much lower mercury levels. Finally, there is farmed tilapia. Tilapia is popular because it is inexpensive and mild, but nutritionally, it is often underwhelming. Many farmed tilapia are fed diets that lead to a high omega-6 to omega-3 fat ratio. While omega-6 fats are not harmful on their own, excess amounts without enough omega-3s may contribute to inflammation. Chronic inflammation is linked to joint discomfort, cardiovascular disease, and metabolic issues that become more common with age. When you combine this fat profile with potential chemical residues from farming, tilapia offers little advantage compared to other fish with stronger nutrient density. Taken together, these fish are not instant poisons, and eating them occasionally does not guarantee harm. The issue is repetition and habit. When certain fish become weekly staples, their risks can quietly add up. The good news is that avoiding these options does not mean giving up seafood. In the next part, we will shift from what to limit to what to choose instead, focusing on fish that are generally cleaner, more nutrient-rich, and better suited to support healthy aging. As we move forward, it is important to understand why these risks matter more after 60. This is not about fear. It is about how the aging body works and why the same exposure that once seemed harmless can become more impactful over time. As we age, the systems responsible for filtering and clearing toxins naturally become less efficient. The liver and kidneys still do their jobs, but they often work more slowly than they did decades earlier. This means substances like heavy metals and industrial pollutants can stay in the body longer. Over time, repeated small exposures may build up instead of being cleared away. For older adults, this gradual accumulation can quietly affect how the brain, heart, and nerves function. Mercury is one of the clearest examples. It does not simply pass through the body. Mercury can accumulate in tissues, including the brain and nervous system. Research has shown that higher mercury exposure is associated with changes in nerve signaling and brain activity. In seniors, this may show up as forgetfulness, difficulty concentrating, changes in mood, or subtle coordination issues. Because these changes develop slowly, they are often mistaken for normal aging rather than a possible dietary factor. The heart can also be affected. Mercury has been linked to disruptions in normal electrical signaling of the heart and increased oxidative stress. For people already managing blood pressure issues or cardiovascular conditions, this added strain may increase vulnerability. That is why health agencies consistently recommend that older adults limit or avoid fish known to be high in mercury. Another concern is antibiotic residue from certain farmed fish. And antibiotics are used in food production to manage disease, but repeated low-level exposure may affect the gut microbiome and immune response. In older adults, whose immune systems are already less responsive, this may matter more. Antibiotic resistance is a growing public health issue, and reducing unnecessary exposure is one reason experts encourage choosing seafood from well-regulated sources. Then there is inflammation. Many age-related conditions share one common thread: chronic low-grade inflammation. Arthritis, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and some forms of cognitive decline are all influenced by inflammatory processes in the body. Diet plays a role here. Fish with a high omega-6 to omega-3 ratio may push inflammation higher when eaten frequently. Omega-3 fats, on the other hand, are associated with anti-inflammatory effects and cardiovascular support. This combination explains why certain fish pose a disproportionate risk for older adults. It is not one factor alone. It is the interaction between aging biology and repeated exposure over time. The encouraging news is that this also means better choices can have meaningful benefits. In the next part, we will shift from risk to opportunity and look at fish options that are generally cleaner, better balanced, and more supportive of healthy aging. Now that we have covered why certain fish can pose higher risks as we age, it is time to shift the focus to something far more empowering: the opportunity. Because avoiding the wrong fish is only half of the equation. Choosing the right fish can actively support strength, clarity, and long-term independence after 60. This is where the conversation becomes positive. Some fish are naturally lower on the food chain, live shorter lives, and come from cleaner environments. Because of that, they tend to carry far fewer contaminants like mercury while delivering exactly what aging bodies need most: high-quality protein, omega-3 fats, and key micronutrients that support the brain, heart, bones, and immune system. One of these is wild Pacific cod. Cod is often overlooked because it is mild and simple, but nutritionally it is very efficient. It provides a generous amount of complete protein without excess fat, which is important for older adults trying to preserve muscle mass and balance. Cod is also rich in selenium, a trace mineral that supports thyroid function and acts as an antioxidant. This helps protect cells from oxidative stress, a process closely linked with aging. Sardines are another powerful option. These small fish sit very low on the food chain, which means they accumulate very little mercury. They are naturally rich in omega-3 fatty acids that support heart health and help calm inflammation. Sardines also contain vitamin D, calcium, and phosphorus, especially when the soft bones are eaten. This combination is valuable for maintaining bone strength and reducing fracture risk as we age. Wild Alaskan salmon is widely recognized for good reason. It delivers omega-3 fats that support brain structure and function and are associated with reduced inflammation throughout the body. Salmon also provides high-quality protein and important nutrients like vitamin B12 and selenium. Choosing wild-caught salmon helps reduce exposure to contaminants sometimes found in farmed fish. Then there is rainbow trout. This fish offers a balance that many seniors appreciate. It is generally low in mercury, easy to digest, and provides omega-3 fats along with minerals like potassium and phosphorus. Trout supports cardiovascular health while being gentle on the digestive system, making it a practical and reliable choice. These fish are more than calories. They act as functional foods that help support muscle, reduce inflammation, protect cognitive function, and maintain overall resilience. The goal is not perfection, it is consistency. If this information has been helpful, take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who cares about healthy aging. Subscribe for more science-informed guidance on nutrition and longevity. And let me know in the comments which of these fish you already enjoy and which one you plan to add next. Small choices today can make a meaningful difference for the years ahead. As we bring everything together, the most important lesson is this. Aging is not controlled by a single meal or a single food. It is shaped by the small, repeated choices you make week after week. What you put on your plate today quietly influences how strong your body feels, how clear your mind stays, and how independent your life remains in the years ahead. Throughout this video, we have seen that fish can play two very different roles after 60. Some options may add unnecessary strain through mercury exposure, inflammatory fat profiles, or low nutritional value when eaten too often. Others can actively support muscle strength, brain health, heart function, and overall resilience. The difference is not about extremes. It is about awareness and direction. One of the most powerful ideas here is that you do not need to change everything at once. Longevity is not built through perfection. It is built through substitution. Replacing one less supportive fish with a cleaner, more nutrient-rich option is a realistic step that fits into everyday life. Over time, those substitutions add up. Better protein quality helps preserve muscle and balance. Omega-3 fats help calm chronic inflammation. Key nutrients like vitamin D, selenium, and B12 support the systems that naturally become more vulnerable with age. This approach also respects reality. Many people live on a budget. Many people value convenience. The good news is that healthier fish choices are not exotic or expensive. Sardines, cod, trout, and wild salmon are widely available and versatile. They can be prepared simply and enjoyed regularly without complicated rules. It is also important to remember that this information is meant to educate, not replace professional care. Everyone has unique health needs. If you manage chronic conditions or take medications, discussing dietary changes with your healthcare provider is always a wise step. Trusted public health agencies regularly update seafood guidance, and those recommendations exist to help people make safer choices over time. The larger message is hopeful. Aging does not automatically mean decline. Many aspects of physical strength, memory, and energy are influenced by daily habits. Food is one of the few tools we control every day. When choices are aligned with evidence-based guidance, they become a form of long-term self-care. So here is your takeaway. Start small. Choose one fish you eat often and ask whether it is truly supporting your health. Then make one intentional swap. Over months and years, those small decisions help protect independence, confidence, and quality of life. If you found this video helpful, take a moment to like it and share it with someone who may benefit. Subscribe for more practical, science-informed conversations about healthy aging. And let me know in the comments. What is one change you feel ready to make this week?